We welcome you for our exclusive webinar to shape your future in hospitality industry at Pacific International Hotel Management School in New Zealand. I would like to extend my warm welcome to the panel guests and the attendees. We certainly value your presence and your attendance for the day-to-day for the webinar. Just a request to all of you, before you go further, I would just request you to put across the questions to be answered by the end of the session so that the webinar is interactive and engaging. Okay. Well, just a brief about me. Like I mentioned, I will be your host for the webinar. My name is Karishma, and I work as a Senior Sales and Marketing Manager for Immigration Advisor New Zealand Limited. Further going forward, I would just like to brief you firstly about who we are. Talking about Immigration Advisor New Zealand Limited, we are a group of education advisor who caters to student recruitment as well as other additional immigration assistances. We are a group of 4 licensed immigration advisors. We are based out of Auckland. And our immigration advisors hold expertise in rendering immigration advice and assistance to individuals. We have handled over more than 30 country clientele base, and we have a diversity in number of the staff members working with us too. Our experience holders are more than 20 years plus now, and we have locally marked up present in India, in Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bangladesh, Philippines, and Middle East. The image reflecting in the screen is basically a 6th floor of the building is an occupancy where we're working, and we have established our office premises. Our today's panel include Ms. Shraddha Mansata, Admissions and Marketing Consultant for Pacific International Hotel Management School. She would be briefing us in regards to hospitality programs offered by PIHMS. Good morning, Ms. Shraddha, and welcome to the webinar. She will cover the core elements related to the programs offered by PIHMS and primarily focusing on Bachelor of Applied Hotel Management, Postgraduate Diploma in Hotel Management, and Masters of Hotel Management Level 9 program, and its exclusive USPs the program is offering. Other than that, we have Mrs. Vandana Rai, Senior Licensed Immigration Advisor, and Ms. Tanua Bose, Licensed Immigration Advisor. They hold an extensive experience and valuable experience in rendering immigration advisors to the clientele. Welcome aboard, ma'am. Thank you for joining us. Now, taking you further to the run, I would just like to brief you all about what our webinar is actually covering today. Our scope of the webinar today is confined to the study programs, as I've duly just mentioned a minute back. Ms. Shraddha will cover up the details about the study structure and the programs offered by PIHMS, the admission guidelines which are required to fulfill for the individuals to be eligible to apply for these programs, and most important, the career projection after the completion of the program. Ms. Rai would cover the details related to the partner and dependent visas, and further talking about the pathways to settle and the benefits of settling down in New Zealand. I would request Shraddha to take over the run and preside the details about the benefits. Shraddha, if you can just give me a minute, please. Yes, please. That's your run.
All right, lovely. Thank you so much, Karishma.
Thank you.
Is it possible for you to, the 2 words at the bottom, kia ora, are visible? Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to this webinar. First of all, thank you so much to Immigration Advisors for organizing this. I'm grateful, and it gives me an opportunity to interact with your students directly, and I'm really happy at this having this opportunity. So I will tell you today about studying in New Zealand, and in particular studying hotel management in New Zealand. So I'd like to begin by introducing you to the country. I'll tell you just a few facts. You probably know a lot about New Zealand already. But Let's go to the next slide. Just a few facts I'd like to share with you. So this is a very beautiful country, stunningly beautiful country in the South Pacific. We are in the northern hemisphere. New Zealand is in the southern hemisphere, close to Australia. It's a small country, but developed, politically very stable. It's multicultural. It's a country of immigrants and pretty much crime free, very safe, known to be very peaceful, and according to global ratings, it is amongst the most honest, corruption free countries in the world. Next one. So, this is New Zealand is known for its beauty. However, it has a very diverse beauty, and because of that, and of course, it's very clean and green, and that's why it's known as 100% pure New Zealand. So, because of its natural beauty and the diversity of this natural beauty, it is a popular tourist destination that also offers a large variety of adventure sports to the visitors. The next one. And where there are tourists, there are hotels. So if tourism is flourishing, hospitality cannot be far behind. Now, both these sectors are interdependent. Understand this. Both these are different sectors, but they are interconnected. They are inseparably connected. Each one feeds off the other. Now, because there are a large number of tourists, have you any idea how many tourists in the country? Almost as many as there are people in the country. Now, New Zealand doesn't have a very large population. It's in the region of 5 million. And there are, well, this 3.5 million is, it's an old figure. As of today, it would be much higher. So, a large number of tourists arrive in the country every day. Now, the borders were closed for the longest time. And so, the hospitality sector had suffered. But as soon as the borders opened, the tourists were there. And therefore, at this point in time, the sector is rebuilding and needs trained people. There are lots and lots of jobs available in the hospitality sector. And if you have a good training, a good education, you can be sure of making a good career for yourself in the field. So both sectors earn a lot of revenue for the country. And yeah, we can go on to the next slide now. PIHMS. So I am coming right to the point. Pacific International Hotel Management School is the full name of the institute. The acronym is PIHMS. So when we say PIHMS, that's what we mean. Now this is located in the North Island. New Zealand, incidentally, is an island nation. We have the North Island and the South Island. So PIHMS is in the Taranaki region. Okay, and it gets its name from this mountain, Mount Taranaki, which is covered with snow throughout winter. And you can go skiing, sailing, whatever, trekking, you can do a whole lot of things. This is about 35 kilometers from the school. That's all. And we are on the western coast. So New Zealand is an island nation, like I told you. The sea is never very far away from wherever you are. So we are on the western coast. We have beautiful beaches. So as a matter of fact, we have the beach ek taraf and the mountain on the other side. You can go sailing in the morning and skiing in the afternoon. That's how beautiful the landscape is. Next one. So here is a map of New Zealand. The school is located in a city called New Plymouth. It is centered between Auckland and Wellington. Now, Auckland is a commercial capital. Wellington is the political capital. We are exactly halfway there. Yeah, 5 hours by road to the north or south to reach New Plymouth. This is Taranaki in the summer. Very, very beautiful, very diverse. The Lonely Planet has called it New Zealand's secret paradise. Let's go on to the next one. The climate is amazing. Why am I talking about climate? Because I am talking to students. Students who are looking to study overseas consider several countries. There are several factors that influence your decision. One of them is, of course, the quality of education. Now, New Zealand education is, New Zealand has been a British colony for the longest time, just like India, just like this part of the world. Uh, New Zealand was also a British colony, and their education system is based on the British system, which is known to be amongst the best in the world. All right. So definitely, as far as the education system goes, New Zealand scores high. But there are other factors. The season is beautiful. I mean, a lot of students want to get stay back after they study, because if you have an international qualification, you want international experience. So they look for countries that give you a post-study work visa. So they consider countries like Canada. Now, Canada, the climate can be a little hostile. That is the reason why I am showing you this scene to this slide, to tell you that the climate in New Zealand is temperate, beautiful throughout the year. It's the first country to see the sun rise 6 to 7 hours ahead of the Indian time. All right, let's go to the next one. So, in New Plymouth, we are located at Bell Block. Okay. It is nestled between the snow-capped Mount Taranaki and scenic West Coast. What you see in the foreground is the school, a picture of the school, an aerial view. Now, please remember, this is a slightly oldish picture. We'll see another one soon. Next one. Okay, this again is older, but it helps me to explain to you what is what. So at this point, I'd like to tell you a little bit about how PIHMS started its journey as a hotel management school. It was not constructed as a school. It was in fact a 4-star resort which was converted into a school. And this happened 30 years ago. All right. So the school, we call it a hotel school. It looks like a hotel, has all the facilities and infrastructure of a fully operational hotel. But there are no commercial guests. It functions like a school. So what you see up front are the three accommodation wings, housing 50 students in each of them. So there are 150 twin sharing rooms that can house 300 students on the campus. The white building is the school building where the smart classrooms are. That was constructed by us. Behind that are the restaurants and the commercial kitchen, teaching kitchen. In front, that little white strip that you see, that is where the front office and the student lounge, etc. are. Now, this is a 5-acre campus. What you are looking at is an aerial view. All right, the teeny dinky cars that you see over there all belong to students. How? Because we have paid industry placement as a mandatory part of some of our programs. And that allows them to earn and go and buy a second-hand car while they are studying. So it's rather easy to do that and quite common too. The next one. Okay, so this is what it looks like now. The highway has come up. It's just a different angle. There are more people in New Plymouth. Otherwise, the campus has not changed. You can just see all of it from a different viewpoint. So, what makes PIHMS special? The fact that it is a hotel school. See, hospitality, hotel management, these are popular programs everywhere in the world. Wherever there is tourism and hospitality doing well, you will find hotel management schools and colleges. Now, this is an operational skill. This is an applied area. You can't learn everything there is to learn about hospitality or hotel management sitting in a classroom. We like to offer a balanced program. And that is the reason why, instead of constructing classrooms, we took over a resort and converted it into a school. We have all the infrastructure that we need to train our students. We like to deliver an immersive learning experience to students. That's what makes us special. A university or a regular institute cannot deliver the kind of training that we can. The next one. So here you are, a hotel school. Here is an example of the front office. So I already told you we have 150 twin sharing rooms. We also have the front office, housekeeping, laundry, commercial kitchen. We have two large restaurants and a fully operational bar, a swimming pool, tennis court, the works. Okay. So how do we teach? How do we deliver the program? It is a very balanced program, whether you study undergrad or postgrad. So any student who stays on campus is required to come up to the front desk on day one and check in, just like a hotel check-in. Who will check them in? Another student. Now that student is undergoing training. Okay, so the students on the left are the guests. The students on the right are part of the management team. So PIHMS is a hotel school that is run like a hotel by the students. Students are guests when they are doing their academics and part of the management team when they are doing their operations. All right, more about it in the next few slides. So an immersive learning experience, like I told you, you are a guest one day and part of the management another day. So this girl who is serving the seated students, she is part of the food and beverage service team. Today she is serving them. Tomorrow she would be seated and be served by the other students. All right. Let's go on to the next one. Here is another example. So the slide in front demonstrates a student who is making beds. So part of hospitality is operational skills. You need to learn them. Why? Not because you're going to be a housekeeper lifelong, but very soon, very, very soon, you will be a team leader and then a supervisor, then an assistant manager, finally a manager of a department in a hotel. You will be managing a team of people who are working under you. If you don't know how to do things, you're hardly going to be able to train them in a effective way. So first you must learn and then you teach. Do you understand the importance of learning operations? This is how you begin. You have to perfect it, because when you go for industry placement, this is how you will start. Any hotel, please hold the slide for a minute. Any hotel anywhere in the world has 4 core departments. What are the core departments? The first is front office, which is the face of the hotel. First point of contact with the guest. All right. Then you have the housekeeping, because when a student comes to live in a hotel, naturally the rooms must be clean, hygienic, comfortable, attractive. Only then would you like to sleep in that room. Only then would you like to come back to that hotel. All right. So housekeeping takes care of not just the room, but all the public areas. You have to keep it attractive looking, hygienic, and clean. All right. So this is a very important department as well. Then comes kitchen. which is the domain of the master chef, because you have to prepare yummy food and serve it to your guests. So cookery is one thing we don't do. Why, I'll tell you in a minute. But whatever is cooked by the master chef and his team will definitely be served by the food and beverage service team. Now take a look at the slide on the right. There are 3 students seated and they are chatting. And there are a group of students in the background who are standing and listening to somebody who is briefing them for the day. This is the food and beverage service team which is being briefed. So the seated students are students, but they are doing their academics, and so they are the guests. And the ones standing, they are doing operations, and so they are managing the restaurant. All right, this is how we do. It is a roster system. Depending on your timetable, you may be the guest or the management. Okay, so cookery, why don't we do it? Because our focus is on hotel management. Okay, now when you're studying cookery, you are not in touch with the guests, but when you're doing housekeeping, food and beverage service or front office, you are in direct contact with the guest. Okay, and please understand this, that running a hotel is nothing but running a business. So that is what is our aim and objective. That is the primary objective. We are training you to be future managers or entrepreneurs. You can start your own restaurant or a resort or a hotel eventually. That is what we are preparing you for. Okay. So the academic part will focus on business and management. Remember that. Next one. Right. So here we are. This is what you will learn in your academic classes. You will develop knowledge and skills in business planning, financial management, product development, operations planning, HR, accounting, logistics, and of course, marketing and communications. You will be adept at all of this. And for this reason, if someday you want to leave hospitality behind and do some other business, you have the business skills. These are transferable. All right. So keep that in mind. It is nothing but a business program with a focus on hotel management. All right. Next one. Yeah. So this is a very interesting and a very important, it's a very crucial part of your program. All undergraduate students who are studying bachelor's degree with us will have an opportunity twice in their program to do a paid hotel internship in some of the star properties in New Zealand. PIHMS have been around for 30 years and we have close ties with the industry. So we are in a very good position to give you placement in a hotel. Now, is this a stipend that you will earn? No. Is it a salary, monthly salary? Again, no. We call it internship, but the fact is that it is industry placement. You sign a full-time work contract and earn minimum wages on an hourly basis. All right. So a huge opportunity to earn money when you're doing on your paid industry placement. And of course, the experience that you gain is irreplaceable. It's invaluable. When you pass out with a bachelor's degree, you will not only have an international qualification, but 1 year international work experience. You're not a fresher. And therefore, getting a job is easy, absolutely easy peasy. There's no problem there. There is no issue there. You will get a job when you pass out. Chances are where you've done your internship, that hotel may very well offer you a full-time job. Okay. So that is for the bachelor's degree students. And I will talk about all our programs one by one. Next one. Right. So here is the undergraduate program that I've been talking about. We have a bachelor's degree in applied hotel management at level 7. Now, what is level 7? There is an government body called New Zealand Qualifications Authority that audits and categorizes all programs between level 1 and level 10. So all bachelor's degree fall under level 7. So this is recognized as NZQA level 7. Now it's a 3-year program and we have 2 intakes for this. One is in January, the next one is in July. What is the eligibility criteria? You need to have completed +2, that means standard 10 and standard 12. It can be any board. It can be a state board from India. It could be the CBSE board. It could be IB. It could be IGCSE, any board. Okay. Also, any stream. Science, commerce, arts, doesn't matter. Any stream, any board. You need to have successfully passed standard 8 with minimum 50% marks. Now, that's not a very high ask because we will teach you what we need to. All right. You do need to do an English language program. And if you do IELTS, minimum 6. If you do PTE, minimum 50. All right. Now the next one. So like I said, it's a 3-year program. In the first year, Karishma, part of it is hidden. Yeah, thank you. The program is divided into 6 semesters. In semester 1, you will begin with 3 months of academic studies, followed by 3 months of operations training in food and beverage service. The second semester, already in the first year itself, we will send you out to work in a hotel. So 6 months on the campus and 6 months working in a hotel and earning money. You pay in semester 1, you recover your fees in semester 2. Okay, a large part of it, not 100%, but more than 50 or 60%. Okay, year 2 now. Next one. Same pattern. 3 months of theory, 3 months of practical training. This time the training is in rooms division. Now what is rooms division? It includes front office as well as housekeeping. So you're training in 2 departments, hands-on training on the campus. The 4th semester is your second industry placement for 6 months. Okay. Another opportunity to earn and gain experience. Next. Right, so this is the 3rd and final year when you come back to campus for 12 months of academic studies. You have to complete your academic syllabus, right? That's what you will do now. 12 months of academics on the campus. The only practical element in the 3rd year is events management. You will manage a large-scale event on the campus. So that's it for the 3rd year, the bachelor's degree program. If any of you students aspiring to do the degree have questions, just hold on. You can ask me at the end of the session. Okay. I would like to now talk about the postgraduate programs that we have on offer. We have 2 programs. One is a postgraduate diploma and the other is a master's degree. Now, both these programs are very, very similar in nature. However, there is a difference. That is why one is level 8, the other is level 9. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So, eligibility first. You need to be a graduate for both programs. You must have completed your bachelor's degree. That needs to be either in hotel management or any business or management degree, which means BCom student is eligible, BBA student is eligible, BMS student is eligible. Even sometimes we get students who have done an MBA and come to us for a hotel management master's. So graduation in hospitality, business or management, because that is the core, that is what we teach, right? Okay, so if you want to enter into the master's program, minimum marks have to be 65%. Anything less than that, but above 50%, you are perfectly eligible for the postgraduate diploma in hotel management. That can be a pathway to master's. More about that in a bit. IELTS 6.5, PTE 58. How many intakes do we have for this? 4. We have rolling intakes, January, April, July, and finally September. If your visa gets delayed, you simply defer to the next intake. Okay, it's as easy as that. You just have to send a one-line emailer and I will defer you to the next intake. So it works very nicely. Next slide, please. This is the course outline for the PG diploma program. Now, both the diploma and the degree programs are 18 months in duration, 1 year, 6 months. The first year are very, very similar. The difference will be seen in the last 6 months. So, all students, whether PG, diploma or masters, begin with 9 months of business studies. You're studying marketing, management, business evaluation, applied hospitality, communications, and research. These are your subjects, okay? The next 3 months, you will be focusing on operations management. Now, here it mentions only 2 core departments, but fact is we offer 3 departments and you can pick any 2. What is missed out here is housekeeping. If you prefer to do front office and housekeeping, you can, or whatever combination, but cookery is not available. The last 6 months is paid hotel internship. Just like the undergrad students, you will have the chance to work full time and earn minimum wages, which at this point in time are 23.20 New Zealand dollars per hour. Okay, and full time means 8 hours of work, 5 days a week. So you earn a minimum of 20,000 New Zealand dollars. So a huge recovery of your investment takes place as a student, not after, as a student. Remember, there will be a tax as well. So when you do your maths, keep all these things in mind. You will also have your own expenses. Okay. Right, the next one, masters. So again, you can see 9 months of theory, 3 months of practical training. So this is exact same. You're studying the same business modules, no difference. It is the last 6 months when you will have to focus on an applied research project. Please, I need to point out that there is an error on this slide and I am guilty of that. There is no paid industry placement for the master students. The entire focus is research. This is what makes the master student level 9, brings a level higher than PG diploma. So you can work in the industry, but that would be a research placement. Please understand the difference between paid industry placement and research placement. Paid industry placement is full-time work. That is 40 hours a week. Research placement is when you are focusing not on work, but on research. You will be paid minimum wages on an hourly basis, but that is 20 hours a week because you must do your research well. you have to submit a dissertation of 20,000 words. Otherwise, no masters. Okay. Now, what else is different between the two programs? Just hold it because I don't think it is there in the PPT. Now, a postgraduate diploma student, when he completes his qualification, his studies, he can apply for a 1 year post-study work visa. He is entitled to apply after successful completion of the program. He'll get it. And getting a job, of course, 100% he'll get it, unless you are very, very bad at your work. And that doesn't happen with PIMS training. Okay. Now, master students, they too can apply for a post-study work visa, but this is a higher program, and therefore you are entitled to a 3-year post-study work visa. Okay, that is huge. Not many countries give you a 3-year stay back. Now, during this period, of course, you have an opportunity to earn back your investment, build your career, get promoted to supervisory management positions, and perhaps collect the points that you need towards PR. But I will not talk about that. There are others who are authorized to talk about it, much more knowledgeable than I am. So I will leave that to them. The next slide, please. So here we will now take a very quick walk through PIMS. These are just images. Take a look. And then I think we can go on to Q&A. Next one. This is the entrance of the campus. Now, again, these pictures are old, but nothing much has changed over there. Next. Keep going, okay? This is the lobby. As you can see, it doesn't look like a school. It looks like a hotel. Go on. So we have a master chef who's in charge of the kitchen. Students would enter the kitchen for a little bit of the operations management part, because you will learn about menu planning, cost control, and so on and so forth from the management perspective, not from a chef's perspective. Okay. If you want to be an executive chef, then this program, the masters, will help you. But if you want to be a chef and prepare delicious food, then this program doesn't offer you much. All right. So the two restaurants that we have are, and the next one is Taranaki. Next slide. These are the two restaurants. Okay. And all students have their meals. Everybody has to have lunch on campus. It's mandatory. Those who live on campus will have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it is managed just like a restaurant. Students have to call up and book a table every day. They will be presented with a menu card. They select what they want to eat. There is a dollar figure next to the dish. And at the end of the meal, you will be given a bill and you have to settle the bill. Even if you have paid the money for accommodation and meals up front, you still have to settle the bill. Why? You have to settle in something called PIMS money. This is like monopoly money. This is paper money. Okay, but we use it to demonstrate to students the flow of money from one department to another, to another, to another. This is the kind of hands-on training, immersive learning that we give you. The restaurant manager, who is a senior student, has to audit each day to see whether he made a profit or a loss. So unless he knows how much money he's collected in course of the day, 3 meals a day, 300 students living, 900 meals served in one day. Okay, so this is the kind of training that we provide. Next one. So this is what the accommodation is like. Just like hotel rooms, large, bright and airy, twin sharing, rooms are carpeted. They are serviced once a week by the housekeeping students. So if today I'm servicing your room, next week you would be servicing mine. All right. So there are a chest of drawers, mini fridge, coffee maker in your room, and an attached ensuite, a bath. So bed linen is provided, bath linen is provided, meals are served. It's most comfortable. The campus is Wi-Fi. PIMS accommodation is probably the best in all of New Zealand. All right. I'm just adding that little information. Okay, next one. So here you can see the rooms are being serviced. There is an attached bath for use of the students. There is a separate wing for the girls and 2 separate ones for the guys. Go on. Recreation, we have outdoor chess, we have a gym, students play soccer, netball, volleyball, squash, tennis. There is the student lounge. And next one, we have a heated swimming pool on campus. So lots of opportunity for chilling, relaxing. And if this isn't enough, you have the mountain and the beach. All right. There is a 14-kilometer coastal walkway where you can go jogging, cycling, running. It's beautiful. Okay, so that is the end of my program. I just want to summarize by saying that our programs are balanced. We give equal importance to academic study, practical training, and industry experience. And when we give you a superior training, the outcomes will be superior, right? So all our students get a job. 80% get promoted to supervisory positions within a year. All right, so that is the kind of opportunity that PIMS provides you. I hope that now what Vandana has to add to what I have said will finally convince you to put in your application or at least think about it. Okay, over to you, Vandana.
Thank you so much, Shraddha.
Unless the Q&A will be right at the end, right? Okay. Okay. So, Vandana, over to you.
Thank you, Shraddha. Sorry, ma'am. Please continue.
No. I just said hi to Tanuva.
All right. Thank you, Shraddha. Likewise, very truly marked. Besides the scenic beauty of the location of the campus that you've covered, the industry experience does matter a lot. And you certainly hold a niche brand association and collaborations for the trainships. So that is truly a very valuable piece for the student curriculum edition. Thank you once again. Now, I would like to present in regards to the further movement on the webinar, please. We have Ms. Vandana. Ma'am, I would just request you to address and brief the audience in regards to the master's benefits and the dependent benefits. If you could please take over. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Karishma. Thank you, Shraddha. That was a very detailed presentation. You've kind of explained everything. It feels as if the students, once they reach there, will not be surprised with anything. You've really explained things in detail, so really appreciate that. And attendees would have really benefited from that detailed explanation as well. So I wanted to let the attendees know of the benefits or the options for partners and dependents, and also what are their pathway post completion of the study. So we are aware that PIMS have bachelor's program, PG Dip, and master's. So you got three options in there. So I will begin on with the options of the master's courses here. So if a student selects a master's course, they are eligible for 3-year post-study work visa. Anybody who does a level 8 postgraduate program will have a 1 year post-study work visa. And anybody who does a bachelor's program would be eligible for 3 year of post-study work visa, or the duration of the post-study work visa, which is in line with the duration spent in New Zealand completing the bachelor's. So that's what are the post-study options. And the options for partners and dependents. So one good thing, New Zealand is really focuses on families being together as one unit. So whether you're studying a bachelor's, whether you're studying a PG Dip or a master's, there would always be options for partners and dependents to be here. If somebody is doing a master's program, they can support the dependents for partners for a partner of a student work visa. If a student is doing a bachelor's or a PG Dip, they can support their partners for a partner of a student visitor visa. And the dependents, so suppose a student is doing a master's, then the partner has the option to apply for a work visa, and then the dependents also have the option to study in New Zealand as on a domestic fee as a dependent child status. So options for family being together definitely is there. Once the student completes the qualification, moves on to a post-study work visa, the partner again has the option to apply for a partner of a work visa, can continue to work, and the dependents can be on domestic fee-paying student visa. That means they can study here for free. And a streamlined pathway to residence. So somebody who completes a master's program attains 5 points by virtue of a master's level 9 qualification. And the current residence pathway requires somebody to have a 6 points before they can be eligible to apply for a residence visa. So 5 points gathered from a master's, and then the 3-year post-study work visa, they need to work 1 year in a skilled employment, meeting all the other requirements, and then would be able to gather the remaining 1 point and then apply for residence. Anybody who does a PG diploma level 8 gathers 4 points, and then they would need to attain remaining 2 points for skilled work experience and then be eligible to qualify for a residence or apply. Anybody who does a bachelor's program can get 3 points for the bachelor's, and then will have to attain 3 years of skilled work experience before they can be eligible for a residence visa. So irrespective of whichever course you study at PIHMS, there is a clear pathway to residence post completion of the course. Students can work part-time while they are studying, and they can work full-time during their scheduled vacations and summer vacations. So part-time studying, part-time work is 20 hours a week while they are studying here in New Zealand. And like Shraddha has given details of the full-time work they are allowed to do when they are doing the internship or paid internship. So that is in line with the course requirement. I've given these options for partners and dependents. I'll explain again. A partner of a student gets work visa if the student is doing a level 9, which is a master's qualification. And a partner of a student gets a visitor visa if they're doing an undergraduate qualification, which is a bachelor's or a PG diploma. The options, the kids have the option to, dependent children have the option to study on a domestic fee-paying student visa, or they have the option to apply for a dependent child visitor visa, again depending upon the age of the child, also depending upon the course the parents are doing here in New Zealand. Feel free to put your questions in the Q&A box, because I know there would be many, and we'll be happy to take on your questions from here. Over to you, Karishma.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Just to bring ahead further information to all the attendees, as I've duly mentioned, we are based in New Zealand. You may reach out to our queries on the email ID contact@nzimmigration.info, and we are available on the below mentioned address as a location base. Please visit us. Please share your queries so that we can assist you in the best possible manner. Next, I would just head on in regards to opening the pool for the questions. If you may please allow me some time. Right. We have a certain set of questions floating in. Ms. Vandana, Ms. Shraddha, this falls for you. What is the job placement rate for the graduate from PIMS? If you could just throw in information on that. I'm sorry, you're on mute, Ms. Shraddha.
Right. Okay. It has always been excellent. You know, the training is way better than what our competitors are able to provide, and that gives us the edge. The industry, the networking, you know, we have hoteliers on our advisory panel. So they tell us what the industry needs, and being a private training establishment, we can easily incorporate that in the curriculum. So we are in touch with the industry throughout, and therefore our outcomes are excellent. Paid industry placement we are doing all the time, right? So our students, well, in terms of a percentage, it has always been 95% and above. Okay, at this point, I'd say every student gets a job. Now, whether he takes it or not, it's a different matter. But hospitality is in need of trained people. Because what happened? You talked about COVID. So, what I want to tell you about COVID is that the borders were naturally shut, and a whole lot of employees returned to their home country. When the borders opened and the industry began, you know, it was with domestic people. The guests were domestic people, right? Only when the tourists started coming that the need became really urgent, and hotels started approaching us, telling us, give us students, and we were unable to, because we have to first train them, then we can send them out. So job opportunities is not a problem. However, please remember, this is a serious program. It's not fun and games. You have to work hard. You have to put your best foot forward. Leave the rest to us. We will give you full support. All right?
Thank you. Ms. Shraddha, likewise, what you just mentioned in regards to COVID, we have the next question coming on with the same concern. How has the hospitality industry evolved post-COVID-19 in New Zealand?
I just answered that. It's
Yes,
doing
yes.
phenomenally well, because when the borders opened, the tourists were there. When tourists are there, they need hospitality. Every tourist needs hospitality. How? He needs a place to stay, he needs food to eat, he needs a mode of transport, he needs some recreation. Every tourist needs hospitality. So if one section, one sector is flourishing, the other will have to. You know, there is no, I mean, no two ways about it. They are inseparable. Yeah.
Thank you.
And what is nice about New Zealand, I mean, what is attractive about New Zealand is that it hasn't been as badly affected as, let's say, the West, due to the war scenario, due to the global financial scenario. You know, other countries have been affected quite badly. But I think New Zealand has managed to stay above, you know, above the, keep their head above the water. They have remained afloat. So yeah, it's New Zealand is quite all right.
I
Thank you
guess,
so much.
Shraddha, what we also understand from, what you're saying about the really close linkages that you have with the industry is that, if students are really looking for that entire practical experience with respect to hotel management, I guess PIMS just offers that is an entire package. So
Yes,
you know
absolutely.
yeah, so when people, when students are actually graduating from the school, they actually have that absolute, latest sort of industry knowledge and the industry skills, which means I'm sure they be picked up like that.
They
uh,
have an edge. They
yeah.
have an edge. And our students, see, we've been around for 30 years and we are not a university. Okay, we are a school. So, I mean, there are the number of students get absorbed very quickly. In fact, there have been situations where a PIMS student is interviewing a potential employee. You know, that happens because our students are, I mean, you will find them across the country working in hotels. And they're able to get promoted very quickly too, because New Zealand has a small population. So, I mean, it gives opportunities for immigrants, for international students. It throws up opportunities. And the other thing is, even as students, or see, New Zealanders themselves, Kiwis, they like to work 5 days a week. Okay, they believe in work-life balance,
Of course.
which is great.
Yeah.
But that creates opportunities for Indians and people from outside New Zealand. They don't want to do the graveyard shift. So our students pick up those shifts. Opportunities, hey, you have to be open and you have to network. And for networking, PIMS is great because we have conferences, this, you know, this, that, and the other. So opportunities are there. You have to grab the opportunity, be at the right place at the right time, and take advantage.
Sure. Thank you, Shraddha. We have the next question coming in regards to assistance required for moving on the residency. I request Ms. Vandana to address it, please. How can we move to work or residence visa after graduation from PIMS? And the second part of the question that goes is, can I get my wife as she's pregnant along with me while I come as a student? So if you could please address the answer to the same, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Karishma. So the moving on from student visa to further visas, you would have to make separate applications. Definitely, our students, we are here to help. So once you complete the student visa, the course is completed, you need to apply for the post-study work visa. So that's a separate application which you have to do, meet the requirements that you've completed the course, have access to funds. 5,000 New Zealand dollars is what is needed to show for your further visas. And then when you say move to residence visa, I would say you need to meet the requirement to be eligible to apply for residence visa. It's not a time-bound move that, you know, that happens. So you need to accumulate the required points so that you are eligible. Like I have explained previously, if you've come to study a master's course here in New Zealand, the master's course will give you 5 points and you need a total of 6 points to be eligible to apply for your residence visa. And the remaining 1 point you need to accumulate through skilled work experience. What is that skilled work experience? So you're working in a full-time employment, you're getting the median wage rate. If it's in ANSCO 123, if it's not in ANSCO 123, then you have the salary meeting the requirement. So there are few things that you have to be aware of. If the time comes, our students or the applicants share their employment agreement even before they sign up, just to make sure that if they have to attain the skilled work experience, whether this job will give that or not, whether it qualifies or not, and we are there to help. So just be aware that what we're saying is there is a pathway. It doesn't happen automatically. You have to meet the requirement for you to be eligible to apply then. I hope I've clarified. From what I understand, this person maybe is already a student because they're saying can I get my wife? So, or maybe thinking of applying. So either case, yes, your wife can apply depending upon the eligibility either for a work or a visitor visa, depending upon what study course level are you doing. And if the wife is pregnant, that's perfectly fine. For certain applications, there may be additional funds needed to be shown for maternity cost. If it's no, certain applications that's not needed, but pregnancy would not impact your wife's eligibility in any case. So she'll not, it's not that because she's pregnant, she cannot accompany, definitely can. And you can move together as a family unit as well if that's what you plan. Over to you, Karishma.
Thank you, ma'am. Shraddha, I have a brief about the student background. Now, this question attached in regards to the same. We have a Sri Lankan student. He's already, just give me final mind. He's made up his mind to apply for the master's, and he has a question. He's an MBA postgraduate from Sri Lankan University, holding 19 years of experience in sales and marketing in FMCG. So, would there be any progression on the coastline attached to this portfolio of the student? If you could just advise something.
Buddhika, right? Buddhika has posed this question.
Yes,
So
yes.
I have already spoken to him earlier, sent him an email about the master's program as well, if I'm not wrong. So see, New Zealand, another good thing about the country is that age is no bar. And PIMS too does not have any problem. We have mature students all the time, even from Sri Lanka. Right now, there are mature students probably close to your age studying at masters at PIMS right now as we speak. Okay. See, what also happens often is that a student does a hotel management bachelor's in their own home country, then they take up a job in a cruise liner. They are away from their country for 5, 10, 12 years, then they want a land job. But they feel that their education is kind of limiting. They get the jobs that, they don't get the kind of jobs that they want, at a slightly higher position with a decent salary. That's where the challenge lies. So many of them applied for a master's when they have returned after working, being away for several years. So this happens. Age is absolutely no problem regarding your academic eligibility. You have done your MBA. So those are the results that we will look at. What you've done prior to that, we will just ignore. MBA is the latest. We look at those marks, and if you qualify, then yes, you can come and study masters for sure.
Thank you, Shraddha. We have the next question in regards to accommodation fee. I would like to put a light on that. The very simple question is, given accommodation fee, including meal prices, do we still have to show the NZ 20,000 as a living? To this, if you can just acknowledge, yes, you certainly need to show the living expenses.
See, I don't have any influence with immigration. I can't persuade them. Although it is a fact that you won't use the 20,000 New Zealand dollars, you will still have to show it. Unfortunately, that is a fact. Or risk decline. We don't want that.
Yeah, thank you. I hope I'm correct, ma'am, and please correct me if I'm wrong.
And on the subject of accommodation, I want to add one or two things. For the month of January, any students who apply for January, whether PG, whether masters, whether bachelors, they get a 50% accommodation discount. So that is huge. If money is ready, apply now. Okay, this offer will not be available in April, July, September. It's only for Jan intake. And once again, PG and master students have a choice. They can stay on campus or outside. It's their call entirely. So PIMS is like a hotel. You can stay for one week, 1 month, 6 months, 12 months. Your call. Check in when you want, check out when you want. Bachelor students, on the other hand, have to live on campus in semester 1 and semester 3. That is compulsory. Okay. In semester 2 and semester 4, they arrange their accommodation wherever they are. They won't be in New Plymouth, they'll be somewhere else. So they have to arrange their accommodation, but they are earning. So they will have no problem at all. In the final year, by now they are mature, we give them the option to stay where they want to, on campus or off campus.
Yeah. Okay. In further prior question to Bodhika, his next question goes on the thing. My visa, he just needs to know the possibility of the visa rejection since he's coming from the non-hospitality background. And that's what most of the Sri Lankan agents he's saying at PIMS in Sri Lanka told him. So there is ma'am, if you can just brief about the same and answer the question.
Okay. So you are from a non-hospitality background? Yes. But your background is sales and marketing. And that's what we are teaching. We are teaching a business program. You have to make out a case for yourself. You present yourself as a student who is interested, who can do the masters. It is relevant. The subjects that you have studied are relevant to the subjects you will study. Make out a case for yourself. Write a strong SOP. All right. And then you will get there.
Well, that sums your answer. Your statement of purpose with a strong conviction on
Very
the reasoning
important
is very,
document.
very important. Portray your interest very well, I would say, and bring across the highlights of why you want to do that particular program, how it's going to help you in the future. So that sums the answer for Buddhika.
And there could
Yes,
also
please.
be an interview. So mentally prepare yourself to face the interview. These questions could be asked. So you should know what you're going to say and not fumble. Be confident, be assured.
Thank you, ma'am.
Just on that, just carrying on from what Shraddha's already said, Buddhika, in your case, it'll be very important to, identify what your skill gaps are. So having done an MBA, why do you think what skills do you still lack that that pursuing the masters in hospitality from PIMS will, sort of fill? So what are those skill gaps? And you should be able to articulate that really well in your SOP, because that is what immigration will be looking for. So what are your skill gaps and how are you going to fill it? Uh, and just one more thing, whilst, if you're just studying in New Zealand, there is no age restriction. So age is no bar if, your aim is to just study. However, if you're looking at study as a pathway to residence, please be mindful that you need to be less than 56 years of age to qualify for any of the residence categories under the skilled category. So till you're 55, you're fine. But the minute you sort of turn 56, then you no longer qualify. So that's one thing you just need to bear in mind. However, if you're coming to just study and upskill yourself, then absolutely no restriction on age.
Thank you, Tanua. I'll just put an end to the questions now, as we've already crossed the bandwidth on the timelines, please. I'll just request the attendees to please share your set of questions on the email ID contact@nzimmigration.info. We would be addressing all your queries and assisting you to the best, as I mentioned earlier. Before I go further, I'd just like to thank all the panel members, and I'll just request the panel members to address a word to the audience. Certainly a very big thanks to our attendees who've taken out their time for the day and been a part of this webinar and made it very much engaging. Ms. Shraddha, I would just request you to address few words to our attendees. Following that, I request Ms. Vandana Rai to address the same. Over to you, Shraddha.
Okay. So my last word to students is about immigration advisors. I have worked with them for a bit now. They do have a very good team. They are professionals. They are experts in their area. They have licensed immigration advisors and they are ethical. They will guide you well. Don't hesitate to approach them. Don't hesitate to apply through them. They will do their best to help you. All right? That's all.
Thank you so much, Shraddha. Ms. Rai, I would request you to address few words to our attendees, please.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Shraddha, for giving your feedback in there. And we do understand it's a big decision for any student to think of relocating. Sometimes if they are married again with families, and if they're younger, the parents have a lot of concerns. So we try our best to answer all those questions so that they are more clear, confident of the decision. So thank you. Thank you for taking out time to be here today, Shraddha. We really appreciate that.
My pleasure.
And a big thanks again for all the attendees who are here. We can see that we've not been able to answer all the questions, but please do send, and we will follow up with you, making sure that we are able to provide answers on your questions.
Before we end, just a last word. I love your tagline, from anywhere in the world to anywhere in New Zealand. Great. Super.
Thank you so much.
Have a nice day, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, and bye-bye. Thank you, panel. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.